Hi everyone, this is Nikki, you also known as Faces Trader, and you're watching the daily market update for the Philippine markets. It's January 26, 2021. Let's begin. So, as you could see, the Philippine market is in a red. You could see that it's down 94 points, down 1.3%. But more importantly, we already see that those who got into speculative names have come to their reckoning. You see actually APL down 30% from 28 cents down to 19 cents. You've got FAT 2.5 now trading at 1.79. You've got Mary Mart 785 now trading at 6.89. You've got BSE going down from 105 to 74 cents. You've got Dito Telecom from about 12 bucks now trading at 11. MRC from 64 cents down 28% to 46 cents. Abra going from 71 to 50. BDO, well, BDO is just fine, right? It's always been there. 112 has been a resistance. It's now down to 108. It's not like 25, 30% down. So what you are seeing actually is a massive sell-off, particularly to your top traded basura names. So you are seeing most of your top 7 actually are not even index names. Most of these are actually pumped up. Not necessarily, of course, for the Philippines was actually very speculative. So we have been cautioning people that when you're seeing all these speculative names go up and down, but mostly up, and then down, 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 you could see that these ceilings are very hard to sustain. And so even with news, example for APL, they said that they were restructuring mining, etc. The point is, it came from where? It came from 50, it went to about 400, 450, 0450, right? So you're seeing that drop, actually even this 30% drop, that is actually 400% up from the people who got in at about '05. See? So this is what you call a what? This is what you call a massive sell-off. So those who try to think that the pullback is going to be a support, of course, that's not true. You are not supposed to buy a company like this. And so I feel that the people who are losing their money actually deserve to lose the money. So whether it goes up or goes down, it shouldn't even matter because these companies are not to be invested at all. So there are questions, Nicolasia, dive pa more. Should I cut if my average price of macro Asia is 715? It's really about exposure, guys. Ay, nawala lang ako. Sorry, nagkaroon ng problema. But okay, so what I always emphasize is always portfolio construction. So let me tell you that portfolio construction is about leaders and leaders, never even about laggards. Like, why the hell do you want to have a laggard, right? And the truth of the matter is, the entire Philippines as a sector is a laggard. I'm the entire money. I'm not like preaching something that I'm Sorry. Sorry guys, nawawalan ako. But I'll answer the questions, no? There are questions in the commentary. Should I cut if my average price for macro Asia is 715? I don't think so. Currently, what you're seeing in the market is that a lot of carnage names continue to go down, which we actually should expect. Eh. After a huge move in the Philippine market, you should be expecting na at 7,000, 50-50 yun. At 7,172, 7,200, we were cautioning people na even if it goes up to 7,500 or 8,000, yung limited upside, tapos na rin. Like 10% upside, 10% downside. So you actually got the downside move from the market, which is 7,2 minus 700. You want to actually see if the market is going to go 6,5, 6,6. And who will be the biggest proponents for that to happen? Of course, you're going to see SM Prime, SM, BDO, BPI, Ayala Land, Ayala Corp. And so for those who still haven't sold their index names, you could see that over time, babagsakan ka. 11 billion pesos market value, 503 million pesos. You are seeing plenty of losers, 209 losers, and advancers are 29. Bagsak yung mga basura mo, bagsak mga index mo, walang pinuntahan yung Philippine market. What we're seeing here in the market though is that just because the stock is down doesn't mean that it will actually continue to fall forever. So there will be companies that have a way to revive and recover. Now, we're not saying that they're going 100% up in the next week or so. Of course not. But what's going to happen is that, of course, there will be people who will trade the range. After them selling what? Let's say they sold some macro Asia at about 7 or even at 6 plus, they try to buy back in. In fact, alam naman natin, di ba bagsak ng 4 pesos or 3 pesos yan. And if it did, for example, if it ever did, you have to assume that, well, is traveling really going to be zero and really going to be zero forever, which I do not believe so. So the point of the matter here is that what I emphasize is that it's all about portfolio allocation. It's all about exposure. At the end of the day, how much is your stock portfolio in the Philippines and how much is your stock portfolio globally? Because at the end of the day, ganito yan. Let's say you've got macro Asia, 3% lang ng exposure mo. The other 30% is nasaan? Let's say you've got Teladoc Health, up 30%. Eto, pinapakopya na nga kayo eh. Kukopya na lang, oh. Teladoc Health, kinopya lang, oh. 230, ngayon 287. Kukopya lang, Beyond Meat, 122, 158. And this is even eToro. I'm not even showing the IBKR. IBKR, 50% up for the month. So, month lang yon. As in, last year, more than 150, 200% up eh. So, the point here, guys, is that paulit-ulit na po. January, February, March, April 2021 na po. Kailan pa po ba kayo mag-i-invest globally? Kailangan pa ba kayo pagalitan? Hindi ko kayo maintindihan. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share Awesome10X because Awesome10X wants to teach Filipinos to invest globally. Okay lang mag-invest sa Philippines. Kasi ang problema, pag Philippines lahat ng pera mo, nagkaroon ng problema sa Pilipinas, wasak ka na. Which is not what we want you to do. Let's say we believe naman there are Philippine companies that should recover in time. Okay, down Jollibee, 180. So what? 180 to 160 nga natin gusto i-pick up yan eh. E di pabagsakin mo ng 160, di better pa. Pabagsakin mo yung Cebu Pacific ng 40, matatakot ka? Di ba dapat bumili ka 40? Now, if you're worried na should I sell Cebu Pacific while it's in the 50 peso area, the question, sir, is how much of the allocation do you have in Cebu Pacific? I'll give you my system. Technically speaking, if it's above 5% of your exposure, you can trim. Kasi malaki masyado yan eh. We're talking about your net worth, ha? Now, usually, the problem in the Philippine market is that they usually are overexposed. And I noticed that all of them are overexposed only in the Philippines. Na parang lahat ng life savings nila, Pilipinas lang. Wala man lang silang Netflix, wala man lang silang Facebook, wala man lang silang ever in-invest abroad. And so, wala. As in talagang lahat ng pera nila, kunwari Cebu Pacific lang, di patay sila kung Cebu Pacific lang lahat ng pera nila. I mean, ang nasa utak nila, jackpot or nothing, all in or nothing. That's not how Awesome10X invests. We have to always emphasize diversification. So, yun yung importante. What's the recommended? To be honest, if I'm being clear here, recommendation siguro nasa mga 95% global, 5% lang Philippines, or maybe 10% Philippines. Sometimes some people, zinero na lang nila Pilipinas nila, which in my view, okay lang. If talaga naman for you, wala naman talagang kwenta Pilipinas, bakit mo pa ipipilit sarili mo dyan? 'Di ba? I mean, I'm not saying na don't invest in the Philippines. All I'm saying is, majority of the Filipinos in the last 15 years of their lives or maybe 10 years of their lives, wala silang alam kundi Metrobank lang, BDO lang, BPI lang. Okay, ang dami pong bangko sa mundo. Pero hindi na rin kayo dapat mag-invest sa bangko kung puro bangko lang din yung i-invest nyo sa Pilipinas. Matuto man lang kayo mag-technology. My God, 2021 na po. Kailangan ko ba kayo pagalitan pa? Anyway, I think that in general, Awesome10X chooses to invest in the best companies. Now, if you believe that, well, Philippines has the best consumer staple out there, example, if you believe Pure Gold, 38 pesos, mura to, okay, mag-invest ka. 5% exposure, Pure Gold. Okay, you bought sa Macro Asia kasi tingin mo, magre-recover ang Philippine market next year or next month. Bili ka sa 7, bumili ka sa 6, bumili ka sa 5, kahit bagsakan ng 3, so what? At the end of the day, it's all about exposure. You're not supposed to invest all of your money in a single stock. Kahit pa Tesla yan, kahit pa nag-10x yung company na yon. At the end of the day, gusto mo ba na yung lahat ng pera mo sa mundo nasa isang kumpanya lang? The answer is no. Awesome10X believes in long-term wealth creation. Now, if you don't know a single thing, di ba? Okay, Awesome10X, pumunta kayo sa sistema. What is long-term wealth? How do you create Awesome10X long-term wealth? Yan. How is long-term wealth created? July 30, 2020. The Awesome10X system by Nikki. Awesome10X Commandments by Nikki. Kailangan pa bang i-memorize yan? Naiinis na talaga ako sa mga tanong ninyo eh. Kasi minsan parang paulit-ulit na lang. Anyway, about these things in the Philippine market, lahat ng natalo sa mga stocks nilang basura, magdusa kayo. In the first place, kayo nag-buy button ng mga yan. Bahala kayo sa buhay nyo. Sana madurog talaga yan. Kasi ako, kahit umangat yan, pasalamat kayo, maglo-lower high lang naman yan eh. At the end of the day, you get what you deserve. If you invested in junk, you get what you deserve. So, to me, you want to invest in the best names. At the end of the day, invest only in companies that you really believe are gonna 10x in a decade. Now, if it's not gonna 10x in a decade, okay, 100% in 10 years, 10% lang yun. Mga 7% lang yun in a year. Okay lang din if that's what you want. At the end of the day, invest with a mindset that you aren't actually gonna trade it. You buy it to actually keep it. Now, if talagang short time lang yan, I buy it to sell it tomorrow, you have to understand your rules. Number one, you're probably oversized. You probably are over-invested and you risk so much that I really don't care if you lose your money. At the end of the day, you have to be responsible with your money. You have to grow up. Awesome10X is here to teach you how to 10x your money. You don't want to listen? I don't care. I don't even want to help you. Because at the end of the day, I want people here to help themselves. You invested in Cebu Pacific knowing at 50, okay, resistance yan. But at the same time, where's my risk of loss? It goes what, 40 pesos? Will it ever go back to 40 pesos? Now, if let's say you're right, it goes to 40 pesos, what will you do about it as well? These things, do I really have to teach you every single day? Anyway, that's it. Philippine market, as you could see, is in a downturn. And in my view, it should fall if it wants to fall. Lower high, lower high. Did you really have a sustainable run with your companies that went 10x? Answer it yourself. A disclosure like this, a disclosure like that. What exactly is a disclosure? Did they execute? Ask yourself those things. Now, you may answer me na, mas mabuti sana mag-invest na lang ako sa Disney. Pwede. Whoever stopped you from investing abroad? Only you. Only you and your narrow-mindedness. So stop investing in things that you don't know and invest only in companies wherein winners win. It's as simple as that. Now, if you don't understand those simple concepts, frankly speaking, I think that you should just lose your money all day. That's it. Bye-bye.